MSR knife to map grid 25779 understand we are operating on a restricted ROE.
Hello, and welcome to the 7th episode of my ArmA 3 Showcase series. Today's topic is the fighter that brought down the aliens in the 1996 film Independence Day, the A-18 Hornet. The Hornet is a newer addition to Firewill's lineup, which was launched on the 30th of August 2019. The F-18 receives periodic quality of life improvements, as do all of Firewill's mods. The Hornet has some of the best textures and skins of any of Firewill's aircraft to date, showing the wear and tear that these aircraft have received over the last 30 plus years. This attention to detail and dedication to realism aids in the fidelity of the mod, and helps set Firewill apart from the rest. The McDonnell-Douglas F-18 Hornet is a twin-engine, supersonic, all-weather, carrier-capable, multi-role combat jet, designed as both a fighter and attack aircraft, hence FA and FA-18. The Hornet was a joint development between the McDonnell-Douglas, now Boeing, and Northrop Grumman companies, which began in the late 1970s. Designed alongside the F-16 as part of the lightweight fighter program, the Hornet we ended up with was derived from the YF-17 Cobra, an aircraft that was being developed for the United States Air Force under the same program. The YF-17 broke many new grounds, having one of the first military applications of a fly-by-wire system alongside its direct competitor, the F-16, a concept that, at the time of the Hornet's development, was still being fine-tuned to maximize the efficiency of an aircraft's flight envelope. The YF-17 made its maiden flight in June of 1974 and would go forward only to be defeated by its direct competitor. Though the F-16 won the lightweight fighter program, the US Navy was skeptical of a single-engine, narrow undercarriage design and felt that it would not meet the Navy's requirement for carrier operations, and thus refused the F-16 naval derivative. They needed a strong contender for their VFAX, or Naval Fighter Attacker Experimental Program. Soon after, on May 2, 1975, the Navy announced its adoption of the YF-17. Since the lightweight fighter and the VFAX program did not share the same design characteristics, the Navy asked McDonnell-Douglas and Northrop to develop a new aircraft from the design and principles of the YF-17. After 3 years of redesigns and testing, the Navy announced on March 1, 1977 that the F-18, codenamed the Hornet, would be entering active service with the United States Navy and Marine Corps to replace the aging A-4 Skyhawk, the A-7 Corsair II, and the remaining F-4 Phantoms, and to also fly as a complement to the F-14 Tomcat. The FA-18 is a twin-engine, mid-wing, multi-mission tactical aircraft. It is highly maneuverable owing to its good thrust-to-weight ratio, digital fly-by-wire control system, and leading-edge extensions, which allow the Hornet to remain controllable at high angles of attack. The Trapezoidal Wing has a 20-degree sweepback on the leading edge and a straight trailing edge. The wing has full-span leading-edge flaps, and the trailing edge has a single slotted flap and aileron over the entire span. The first FA-18A rolled off the production line in September 13, 1978, and was about to enter a whole new era of pilot training, being the first aircraft the United States Navy would put through its principal sight concept, where Navy and Marine pilots, not civilians, would pilot the aircraft in its early development period to increase military experience and hands-on technical prowess. Following trials by the VX-4 and VX-5 squadrons, Hornets began to fill fleet replacement squadrons across the Navy, first billing VFA-125, VFA-106, and VMFA-T-101, where pilots would be introduced to the Hornets for the first time. The Hornet entered full operational service with Marine Squadron VMFA-314 at MCAS El Toro in January 1983, and with the Navy Squadron VFA-25 July 1, 1984, which replaced their A-4s and A-7s respectively. The F-18 was praised for being extraordinarily reliable, especially compared to the F-14 and A-6s, which required up to 4 times as much maintenance downtime. Rated at 7.5 G factor, but capable of 9.5 G sustained turns, the Hornet had many design characteristics that gave it the combat edge. Notably, the large LEX or leading edge extensions allowed for a larger bite into the relative wind, which provided greater lift and maneuverability at high angles of attack. The large trapezoidal wing has a 20-degree sweepback on the leading edge and a straight trailing edge, which have leading edge flaps and single slotted trailing edge flaps and ailerons respectively. The F-A-18 was also the first aircraft to heavily use multi-function displays, which allowed the pilot to enter air-to-air and air-to-ground mode, or both, with the push of a button. This force multiplier ability gives the operational commander more flexibility to employ tactical aircraft in a fast-paced battle scenario. The F-18 was also designed with future upgrades in mind, being the first Navy aircraft to incorporate a digital multiplexing avionics bus, which enabled easy upgrades. The F-18 has seen a multitude of variants over the last 30 plus years. The initial production run of the A variant would see 380 F-A-18As produced, with production shifting to the F-A-18C variant in September of 1987. In 1992, the original Hughes AN/APG-65 radar was replaced by the upgraded AN/APG-73, a faster and more capable radar. The F-A-18s that were upgraded with the APG-73 would henceforth be designated as the F-A-18A+. The F-18C was a result of the block upgrade in 1987, incorporating upgraded radar, avionics, and the ability to carry advanced weapons such as the new AIM-120 AMRAAM, AGM-65 Maverick, and the AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missile. Other upgrades included the NASIS, or Naval Aircrew Common Ejector Seat, as well as a self-protection ECM jammer. The C model was also able to incorporate newer navigation pods and forward-looking infrared for day-night track and search attack operations. Production of the C and D models concluded in 2000, with the final F-18C being assembled and delivered to the Finnish Air Force in August of 2000, and the last F-18D being delivered to the United States Marine Corps in August of the same year. The Hornet has been exported to a wide array of allied nations, including Canada, Australia, Spain, Switzerland, and Finland, just to name a few. Most of the NATO allies operate the F-A-18A and A+ variants, while the Royal Australian Air Force and the Kuwaiti Air Force are the only operators of the Super Hornet outside of the United States Navy and Marine Corps. In 1995, the F-14 was in the United States Department of Defense's sights to be retired, as its airframe had become overextended and weathered from decades of carrier launches and landings. Thus, the F-A-18EF Super Hornet was developed. Entering initial production in early 1997, full production in September of 1997, and finally operational in 2001, the Super Hornet has so many design and capability improvements over the legacy Hornet that it deserves its own video. Sporting newer, 25% larger airframe, larger rectangular air intakes, more powerful GE F414 engines, and a greatly improved avionics suite. The Super Hornet would go on to be further developed into the EA-18G Growler, which is an electronic warfare derivative of the two-seater Super Hornet that employs a myriad of electronic warfare, radar and communications jamming, as well as guidance system jamming, to protect Allied aircraft within an area of operations. Easily identified by the AN/ALQ-218 wingtip jamming pods, the Growler also acts as the primary SEAD, or suppression of enemy air defenses, platform for the United States Navy and Marines, protecting wartime strike packages in an ever-increasingly modernized world. The Growler shares 90% commonality of parts with the Super Hornet. The ALQ-99 jammer pods are the primary electronic warfare weapon of the Growler, although it's not always the most reliable. Many fault errors and mechanical issues plague the 99 pod. The pod also interferes with the Super Hornet's advanced AESA radar, wreaking havoc on the workload of the two-man crew of the Growler during extended operations. The Hornet's combat capabilities were initially designed around short to medium-range engagements. The AIM-9P Sidewinder and the AIM-7E-2 Sparrow were the prominent air-to-air weapons at the time of the Hornet's introduction. Iron bombs, cluster munitions, and rockets, as well as the nose-mounted 20mm Vulcan M61A1 cannon, were the principal air-to-ground munitions of early Hornets. It wasn't until the introduction of advanced targeting pods like the AN/AAS-38 Nighthawk in 1993 that laser-guided munitions could be employed by the F-18. The Hornet is capable of carrying single, dual, and triple racks for munitions, as well as up to 3 external tanks for extended operations. The Super Hornet is capable of being converted as a tanker, taking up to 4 external tanks with some modification and a hose and drogue attachment directly under the fuselage. Carrying 9 hardpoints and the Legacy Hornet, 11 for the Super Hornet, and a maximum takeoff weight of 51,900 pounds, the F-A-18 is a formidable strike aircraft. Initially, the Hornet didn't stand out in any particular area, being a jack of all trades and a master of none. With subsequent technological developments and the addition of smarter avionics, the Hornet has become one of the best multi-role fighter aircraft anywhere in the world. New equipment such as the HMCS helmet-mounted cueing system, AIM-9X, advanced AESA radars, and ship-to-ship data link capabilities have carried the Hornet into the 4.5+ generation of aircraft. Newer technologies are being fielded to enhance the lethality of the Hornet, such as the AGM-154's joint standoff weapon and small diameter bombs, which give combatant commanders significant standoff capabilities and allow them to choose how engagements will go and not the other way around. The Hornet's combat prowess was first seen in April of 1986 while flying sea missions against Libyan air defenses during Operation Prairie Fire, in which USAF F-111s, Navy and Marine Corps A-6s, and F-A-18s dropped 60 tons of smart munitions in 12 minutes in order to cripple Muammar Gaddafi's warfighting capability after multiple skirmishes in the Gulf of Sidra, as well as a Libyan bombing of a West German nightclub that killed 3 people and wounded hundreds. The Hornet's SEAD capabilities mixed with the EF-111's ECM jamming kept the Libyan SAMs from firing a single guided missile at the strike package. One F-111, however, was lost to ZSU-23 on egress. A couple years later, the F-A-18 would prove its worth again during the Gulf War in 1991. The Navy would deploy 106 F-A-18s while Marine Corps would deploy 84. The Hornets were credited with 2 MiG-21 kills, which were engaged while the F-A-18s were en route to a bombing mission. E-2 Hawkeyes warned the strike fighters of the encroaching MiGs, and with a single push of a button, the Hornets turned from strike to fighter mode and engaged both MiGs with an AIM-9 and AIM-7, killing both of them. Both aircraft carrying 4 2,000-pound bombs each continued on their bombing mission before returning to the USS Saratoga. Early F-A-18s were powered by 2 F-404 engines, which were designed with operability, reliability, and maintainability at the forefront of operation. The engine's rated performance wasn't incredibly notable, however its reliability while airborne in rough conditions as well as its high resistance to stalls and flameouts earned it affection by those that flew it and maintained it. The air inlets of the Hornet are a simple fixed design just like that of the F-16, as opposed to the variable intake ramps of the F-14 and F-15s. This would have been a speed limiting factor if not for the bleed air vents on the inboard surface of the engine air intake ducts, which slows and reduces the amount of air reaching the engine. This design feature allows Hornet to achieve near Mach 2 speeds. In 1992, the F-A-18C would be upgraded with the F-404 GE-402 enhanced performance engine, which provided 10% more static thrust and became the standard Hornet engine across the F-A-18 fleet. With the introduction of the F-A-18E-F Super Hornet came a new and improved engine. The General Electric F-414 engines were an entire class above F-404 when in terms of thrust production, giving the Super Hornet up to 22,000 pounds of thrust each. This huge boost in power directly correlated to the Super Hornet's improvements over the Legacy Hornet in almost every way. Further development of the engine by General Electric in 2009 would see the creation and deployment of the F-414 EPE or Enhanced Performance Engine, which further increased the static thrust of the Super Hornet another 20%. Overall, the F-A-18 has left a lasting impression on aviators and aviation enthusiasts all over the world. Many people prefer the smooth, rounded look of the Legacy Hornet over the sharp, straightened edges of the Super Hornet, while others float the opposite direction and prefer the technologically superior Super Hornet. While the Legacy Hornets are slowly being phased out and replaced by the Super Hornet, the love and devotion to the F-A-18C carries on. The robustness of the Super Hornet's mission set and its ability to accomplish those missions without fail ensures its continued successes well into the 2030s, 2040s, and beyond. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for joining me today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and help my channel grow. I primarily make ArmA 3 content and would love your guys' suggestions in the comment section. I read all of your comments, and your messages are a huge factor that drives the channel in the direction it's going. To have your opinion on the next video, please vote down below on my pinned comment and help me choose the next aircraft that be showcased. I really hope you guys enjoy me using ArmA 3 as the medium by which I convey visuals. I record gigabyte after gigabyte of footage to get the best visuals possible for these videos. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you all on the next video.